Okay, and we're supposed to be live. Hi, guys, and welcome to Geri G Reviews. And with me is Hilza from Disgustings, and we are continuing with our coverage on Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is our spoiler review / hangout. So, hi, dear buddy.
Hello and welcome to our collab. Second collab in 2 days, which is good.
Yeah, that's something like a new record, you can say, even.
For us, yeah, especially in this situation.
Oh,
So,
yeah, it's awesome.
I can't wait to start. I love spoilers. I want to talk about those spoilers a lot.
Yeah, everything's going to be spoilers, guys, so keep in mind that if you want to see our spoiler, non-spoiler review, you can just check out my previous video from yesterday. Okay, I'm just going to put the page up now so I can see the live chat if there is any. And
Still
that's it. Yeah, still nothing. Okay. Okay, so let's start. If you like, you can start actually with the spoiler section. And what do you want to discuss from the movie? The nitty-gritty.
Let me just be the first to say that the movie starts with, let's say, one of the most amazingly entertaining sequence of Groot, of this little baby Groot just walking around in music while all the Guardians are fighting the huge space monster. So just right there says the tone for the whole movie. You have baby Groot that the camera follows, all CGI, and just in the background, the Guardians are fighting, getting beat up, getting the monster beat up, and it's just everything falls out around him. And he's just dancing. This sets the tone for the whole movie in general. So this is literally one of the most amazing scenes I could actually think of about the whole movie.
Oh yeah, visually impressive. I mean, it was so huge. The camera followed everything, under the monsters, tentacles and everything. And it was so funny.
Yeah, and it was actually surprising when those sovereigns, the race, the gold race, turned out to be a very huge part of the movie. I just thought that they're going to be one mission, like for the opening of the movie, but they turned out to be throughout the entire movie and in the end credits, as creating the thing. Adam, yes, was it Adam? Yeah, so this is definitely a continuation that is probably going to flow into the next movie. So we might see them in the third movie as supposedly the main villains. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, because that guy Adam was supposed to be something of a hero. At the same time, maybe he will not be sure, like you said, actually. He will not be sure what he is.
I did not have the time to research what Adam or who Adam is, but they actually, to take the after credit scenes to just show this is enough for me to know that it's going to be something huge.
Oh yeah, hopefully. And our friend is here, Sand Rising. So hi there.
Yeah, hello man. He's amazing.
Very glad to have you.
And he has a lot of free time.
Okay. So he can watch us live then.
Yeah, excellent. That's the best time.
Oh yeah. Well, you know how I was constantly telling you, during the movie, when I saw that Sabran leader, I'm like, she's like Paris Hilton. she looks just like Paris Hilton.
Yeah, even the skin color is the same because I've seen Paris Hilton in many ridiculous makeups, and one of them was kind of similar to that. But I'm actually pretty interested by the whole Sovereign race, the way they operate, the way they perfected their evolution and everything. So I just hope they expand on them if they are to be the main villains. I want to know some background, some history to their race. Yeah, they're a pompous race, but they fit into the movie.
They're snobs. Very entertaining snobs because they're so snobby that it's funny.
Yeah. But before before we continue, I think we should just start out with the main villain, because you can't have a spoiler talk without knowing the main villain, who has the majority of the movie to himself, the father, who turns out to be the main villain of the whole movie. And I think he's a better villain than the previous villain. I forgot his name. That's how much I forgot from the previous movie. What was his name? Do you remember? I don't know.
The previous movie was that guy. Oh, damn it. What was the name? I forgot. That blue guy.
Yeah, the blue guy with a hammer.
Gray guy, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a better villain. I mean, that's for sure, because he got a lot more screen time. We got to know how he thinks, what he is, a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually researched, we talked about this, I researched the Celestials, and indeed, the Celestials are those giant beings that probably existed before this universe. And in the first movie, where there's a corpse of a huge thing in space, which is turned into a black market, this is indeed the body of a Celestial. So according to Marvel, Celestials are those giant things that used to wield the Infinity Stones. And the father of Star-Lord being a Celestial is kind of a strange thing, because the bodies, like Celestials tend to have bodies like armored bodies, huge, amazingly huge armored bodies according to comics. But this
like
one
giants,
is
giant knights.
absolutely gigantic Celestials, and this guy is just a planet.
Well, in the comic books, his father is not even a Celestial. He's just a man, basically, that has some kind of a royalty factor to him, I think. I forget, actually, but he's not. I mean, they changed that whole thing. It's not even the case. Oh, and Sun Rising says, I'm against the way they reproduce. I think he means the sovereigns, because, you know, they don't have sex.
Well, the main, the high sovereign wanted to have sex for academic purposes, which was very nice.
No, I'm not sure she did, actually. I took that as she's saying, you know, really to understand it, maybe. I mean, I didn't get it as really literally, you know, sleep with, you know, Star-Lord.
That was absolutely completely pompous way to ask for sex, because one of her guards just smirked a little in the beginning of the movie. So yeah, it was a total invite, but I actually can't imagine that.
That's going to be very awkward and robotic, I imagine.
And filled with golden lace skin. All right, moving on.
It's like having sex with a statue or something.
But the whole concept of changing the origins of Star-Lord's father, for me, now that I know what, like, the Celestials, and that he wasn't a Celestial in the comics, I think this is a more interesting take on the whole matter. Like him being a Celestial and concocting this evil plan through the millions of years, where he planted his seeds on the planet. That's an amazing plan for, let's say, for destroying the universe.
Oh, wait a second, because Sun Rising just wrote something. Yes, and I take female cannibals from the forest of science.
Yeah, he's weird like that.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, continue, because I have to think about it.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is, he had the plan itself. The plan that he had, his father, is far more interesting than what. Yeah, I remember Ronan the Accuser.
Ronan the Accuser. Yeah. By the way, your mic started to make terrible sounds.
Yours just started too, by the way.
Mine too?
Yeah, I just now I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's breaking. Yeah, I mean, Sun Rising just said it as well. So mine is too.
Damn it.
That's maybe from our mic software.
Shouldn't be, by the way. The mic software is just for the recording quality.
Yeah, but I never had that problem before.
Yours is all right now. Yours is good now.
Well, I just brought the program up, the software, so try to click on it, see what happens.
Wait a second. All right. I'm
Yeah,
up in the
it
software. All right.
fixed. It fixed
Okay.
the
So
sound. I knew
yeah.
it.
All right.
I knew it's from that because I never, like I said, I never had this problem before. I had the software when I do a Hangout, so it's from the software for some reason.
Okay. So I'm bringing it up, and it's gonna stay up just to monitor the situation. All right. It's
Wait,
good now. It's good.
no, it's not.
Ah,
Damn it, it's not. It's from your site again. Something is happening.
seriously? Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Just a second. I'm gonna try to change some head. Now?
Okay. Still does that.
Now?
Still.
Fuck. Come on. Shouldn't be. Okay. What about now?
It's even worse.
Fuck. And now?
It's worse.
I don't know what's happening. I have no idea. It's the software is up.
In mine too.
You're okay. You're fine now.
Yeah, but yours is just yours is just like a lawnmower is going through the mic right now.
Excellent. I love lawnmowers. All right.
Not in this instance.
Yeah, but come on. Let's see. I actually don't know what to do because the software is kind of simple and
Yeah, maybe try to close it and restart it or something.
probably going to try it. Okay, close it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Any change?
Not for now. I will let you know immediately if I hear changing.
Let's start it again. Okay, I put it up again.
Okay, it's still very bad.
Change, all right.
Sun Rising says that is what happens when you're not using OBS. Not sure. I mean, that is such a rare problem. But it always comes out when we're doing stuff. I mean, it came out just once. And with me, it won't hang out only.
Yeah, the problem is, I don't know where the problem lies. The connection is good, I think. Probably if I close it. No?
And I'm still good?
You're still good, yeah, you're fine. Which is, like, you weren't fine, then you brought out the software, you were fine, then I brought the software, it was fine, and now it's not fine.
Yeah. Super weird.
We could try restarting.
You can try to, close.
I'll enter again.
Yeah, close your side of the window and just enter again.
Okay, just a bit.
Okay. Okay, so Sun Rising says, it's starting to sound like an old age cell phone call. Can you hear me now? How about now? Yeah, pretty much. Is the delay really that long? Well, who knows? I mean, for us it's on time, but
Okay, so good.
yeah, it's clear now.
Now, for now.
For now. Right. Yeah, where were we?
We're in the father's plan. That I was talking about that. So what I was trying to say is that the plan was actually very well thought, and it was a bit straightforward, but it was global. Like you felt like whatever he's about to do, when they showed all the planets being contaminated by him, you knew that if this actually succeeded, this was going to be big trouble for everyone. And I'm kind of amazed at the thought process that went behind that.
Yeah, although I didn't quite get his motivation, why he decided to destroy all life. I mean, he wanted to create his own universe, but he just, spoke with some songs. I mean, he used the lyrics of some songs to explain his motivations, and he killed all of his previous children, and he, made a pile of their bones. I mean, I didn't quite get why was this all needed?
So the thing about wanting to raise all life is because he found it boring when he first connected with alien life. He found it disappointing, and so that's where he found his purpose. He needed to erase this disappointing form of life, this version of life, and create his own, which would be a lot more. Like he would spread across the whole universe. He would become the universe, and he would create life in his image. He would be like the ultimate god. And as for the children part, he tried to, because he's a celestial, he has a huge amount of energy, but it's not enough to do the whole plan. So he needed another celestial with his energy. So that's why he
clear. That's clear. But
Yeah.
why did he kill all the children, and why he made a pile of their bones?
I don't think he killed them. I think he did the thing where they get stabbed by the energy beam. You know how Star-Lord was stabbed and drained of his energy, and he actually tried to do that to take that form of cosmic energy from them, but it didn't happen. So they ended up being killed. Why the bones? Well, you need something to fill the plot, so you need to find the evidence. That's as simple as this. I think they just left those bones so that the characters can find out what happened.
Although he didn't need to stab Star-Lord before he knew that he carried his spark. So if he's a god, because he basically is, he's supposed to be, I mean, he's supposed to know whether or not his children are carrying his spark. So why still kill them all and just, you know, I mean, I
don't know. That's probably not explained, but he did explain that they didn't possess the spark. But yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it just didn't make much sense to me, that part with the bones. Yeah. I mean, it looked like it's all made up, so, you know, Gamora and her sister can find all that and say, oh my gosh, he's evil.
Yeah. By the way, you're breaking up again.
Really?
Yeah. I do still understand you though, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna try to answer that.
And
it's
now? No.
Still like it's like a bad reception.
No.
It's a cool game. Let's continue.
No. Okay, I'm closing sound deck because I really feel that I have to do something, you know. But yeah, okay, continue.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, it's there. Like the piles of bones are there because they should be found by the plot. It's simply the plot. As I said I think I said it yesterday. The plot is not that complicated. It's very straightforward. There are things that are not cool at the plot itself. So basically, you don't have a lot of surprises.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I think those are just there to. If I have to dwell on a deeper meaning, just so Ego, like the father, yeah, we didn't mention his name, to know his past failures, to be reminded of his past failures, and to continue going. You could dwell it to the meaning like that. You could dwell that this was probably the motivation to keep the bones there.
Well,
you're okay now.
Says, really?
You're okay now.
Okay, because I closed it and opened it again. Okay. Okay, so Sunrising says the guy was a psychopath. You do not question the logic of such person.
You actually do, because the psychopaths actually have a lot of logic behind their action. It's a twisted logic and it's an evil logic, but it's not irrational.
There's a logic. Yeah, there is a logic there. I mean, there's a reason behind their actions.
Everything they do is provided by some form of rationality. Could be it evil, be it good. It's not meaningless. It's just evil, and his logic is not that evil. He just saw. He was just convinced that he has to better the universe. He has to make the universe better. Okay, the idea is there, but the means he does it are evil. So
yeah, it's evil. But let's just say that what they showed, I mean, how the movie presented it, was, not exactly enough, at least for me, it's not. I mean,
Yes.
they don't need to spend 2 hours, and I'm not saying that they need to, explain too much of it, but it was kind of the same thing that we have with the other Marvel villains. They build them up to a certain extent just to get an idea that they're evil, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, that is why, a lot of people complain about the villains in general with Marvel, because there's always something that's missing, that that hit, that punch in the gut, so to speak, that a villain can present to you.
Yeah.
So you know that they're evil, but the core of everything is kind of missing, and they're just implying that. They're implying that base, but they're not establishing that base, if you know what I mean, that well. So yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Marvel, the villains are either very complicated personas or very simple, and I don't think they did the right thing, like in the best way, to spend a single movie with that. If they had spent 2 movies, like they continued it, then it would have been better. Because I'm going to make the reference to Jessica Jones and the villain there, the Purple Man.
Oh
The
yeah, he's a
whole
great
series,
villain. He's
yeah,
a
but
great
he's a
villain.
great villain because you have a whole series that are dedicated to basically evolving the character. You see his background, you see how he motivates, you see his past, you see how he and Jessica met, you see he's changing, you see his motivation, everything, and you get it bit by bit throughout the action of the whole series. In a movie, you don't get that comfort. You get a movie that needs to start and finish at a certain time, so you have a limited time, so you can't do all of the things perfectly in a movie. It's just not that possible unless the movie is, like, let's say, 5 hours, like the Lord
Well,
of the Rings.
I know that point, but we can't actually say that, because we have a lot of other movie examples where the villains are much more developed, and you don't feel that emptiness that comes from that villain, so to speak. So we have a lot of more movie examples that the villain is enough build up, or his personality and character shown in such a way that you just get it, you can feel it. And here is a bit empty. That's what I mean. So it is
Yes.
possible to do it better, and that is obvious just with the movie part of Marvel. The TV part of Marvel, I don't really have a problem with that, and it didn't, it doesn't make that much of an impression, the TV part of Marvel. But the movie, just every time, even without wanting to, dwell on that, you just do, because it's, at least me, I'm left with some kind of a wanting factor that I didn't get,
Yeah,
so to
but
speak.
well, I do think this is in part, and with me, I do agree with you. It's a bit empty. Yes, it's a bit rushed. It's a bit empty. The exposition was way too harsh and way too hollow throughout in terms of the villain. But you gotta, in part, this is because the villain is new. You don't have a background on this version of the villain. Let's say if we take, let's say, the Dark Knight with the Joker. Everyone knows the Joker. Everyone knows who the Joker is since the 60s. He's one of the most memorable villains in DC. You don't need a lot of exposition for him to begin with, because everyone knows him. Same is with the X-Men. Same is with other Marvel movies. And when you have someone new, even the first Guardians of the Galaxy with Ronan is not the most known villain in the Marvel universe, but he's certainly he's the accuser of the Kree. If you watched, let's say, the Avengers, the animated series, he's there for a lot of series. He's there several times, and you have a background of him as well, and the comics as well. But here, this is a completely new version of a character who I don't think he's even the villain in the comics. His father.
Yeah, you know what I felt with the first movie? I didn't care much of Ronan. Just didn't care. I mean, what they
Yeah.
did with him was obviously not, it's not a good villain or anything like that, but they did, the movie in such a way that everything else was a lot more important. So he was
Yeah.
not even that emphasized, and I didn't feel that, that was something that brought the movie down at all. When where here they tried to build, the ego, that guy
Yeah.
up, but they kind of missed the point, so to speak. So
Yeah.
here they try to correct themselves, but in the same time, they still miss that core thing. And yeah, basically
And
that's
breaking
what
up
happened
again.
to me. Yeah, you started breaking up as well.
I am as well.
Yeah, you are as well. I'm just going to touch on something, and you tell me if it's fixed.
All right.
Okay, now.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, wait a second now.
Nope.
Okay.
Up, 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 up.
What,
It is
what,
good
what?
now. It is good.
Okay, now you have to fix it.
What did you do? Guide me, master.
Well, I just gave, closed it and then gave, right button on the icon, then microphone enhancement, and then click on the X basically when the little window pops up.
Okay, and now?
Say something.
I'm saying something.
Yeah, it's still bad.
Okay, so I'm doing what you told me. And I think nothing happens. All right, let's try something else. Okay. I closed sound deck. I'm gonna
completely close it. Yeah,
just a second.
For the love of nachos, you are breaking again, Theo. That's sunrising. Yeah, he said a lot of other things.
At least I have a mic.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's read a bit.
Okay, is it good now?
No, it's not. It's not.
All right, I'm gonna do the old-fashioned thing and just log in again.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to read here. So I'm not saying there's no logic. I'm saying do not question it. Mostly because if you start to make sense, that we have bad news for you. Then we have bad. Well, I have to question it if I don't connect with it, so to speak. It's a movie. I mean, it has to make me feel something, and if it fails, yeah, it's perfect now. The guy from X-Men, the bald blue guy.
Bold blue guy.
The bold blue guy.
Bold?
Blue. Yeah. I mean, there's blue guys, but none of them are bold.
At least I don't.
And Magneto, for instance, he's a very good villain, but he's not from the Marvel universe. Because when the movies are made, by Fox, it's a totally different universe on itself. It's no longer Marvel. I mean, the X-Men. I'm talking in general about X-Men, that we can't count them in the Marvel universe because we have a Marvel universe that comes from Marvel only, and that from Fox is their own thing. It has nothing to do with what Marvel is doing. It doesn't have the formula. It doesn't have doesn't have anything like that. So they're not the same thing. And we have one more comment here. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, no, I love it.
I'm waiting for it.
Okay, I love it. It was a more character-driven story. Yandu was the standout. I felt it more about him and Star-Lord. I really felt the heart in the movie. That is by Patrick Starr. Sunrising says, for the love of... Yeah, I wrote that. I read that then. The old god. The old god. Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah. I mean, that Egyptian god from the previous movie.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Yes. Yeah, he also was a bit. I mean, he was evil, and he was also a bit lame.
That is what I hated about X-Men. The X-Men, the last movie. Because Apocalypse is one of the greatest. I mean, the greatest villains and characters in the X-Men in the whole Marvel universe at all, and they missed on so much. They missed so much with him, from abilities to backstory to development. I just hated it, but I don't want to dwell on Apocalypse, because this is the peak of missed opportunities with a villain, and I just get frustrated. But I would like to talk with you about Yandu, because we had our disagreement last night. You said that he was developed too fast in this movie.
Well, not too fast. I meant that his character wasn't, that important in the previous movie, so to speak. I didn't even remember half of the things that he did in the movie, basically. I mean, he was a bad guy. He appeared, several times, and now they just, picked up his story somewhere in the middle of the movie. And by the end of the movie, he was, made to be this hero. They told a bit of his story with Star-Lord, and how he raised him and how he was a jerk to him, and Star-Lord resented him. And in the end of the movie, he was hero, and Star-Lord was basically crying for him. So I didn't get that, that connection. At least, we didn't connect with that overall.
I do get that the first movie, he didn't do a lot in terms of character development. He was just there as a villain who used to watch over Star-Lord and etc., threatening to eat him and raising him to fight. But at the end, I mentioned this at the end, where they fly away in the ship, and he just says that he's glad he didn't deliver him to his dad and took him for himself, which was the premise of this movie, because it was a little hint. In this movie, I feel that this was needed, because it was like a redemption. You see Yandu being shunned by the other Ravagers, with Sylvester Stallone as the head Ravager, of course, because who the hell are you gonna get as the head Ravager?
Cool. That was cool.
Amazing. I didn't expect that, and it was an amazing role, and I think he was good in it. Like, he wasn't there for a long time, but what he did was epic in its own way. However, you see, this is the beginning of his redemption. Like, he feels bad about breaking the code, but in the end, you know why he did it. In the end, you find out that he actually didn't want to give him to Ego, because he knows what happens to Ego's other children.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what happens.
Yeah, but that whole thing also, showing Yandu with his group and how life is there. I mean, we got like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes of that, to imagine how his life is and what he does. But overall, I didn't get a very good impression of the Ravagers and how they really are. I mean, I got that they're jerks and bad guys that do stuff for hire, basically. But it was like, in the same time, they have some kind of an honor. I mean, they throw some things. I mean,
they actually try to throw the whole backstory of the Ravagers from the law into the movie, which was not best. But I'm glad that they kept it at that. They didn't try to push them too hard, too much. Like, they were there, they were part of the movie. There were scenes with them. Groot and Rocket and Yandu did escape from them, but it wasn't something of like a main story. They didn't focus on that mainly, which is good, because if they did, that was going to be a very, very bad decision. If you want to mix two main stories into, because the Ravager's story is quite extensive, like their origins, their code, everything. The funeral process is very, very extended. I think there was a whole comics about that.
Okay. But, for somebody that has no
Breaking
idea,
up again.
Really?
Yes.
Freaking hell. Okay. And now?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No.
No.
Nope. What to do? What else I can do? Oh, I think we have an update actually of the program. even.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Bad.
Bad. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. I mean, I'm going to deal with that later, but I think we have an update of the program, so better update it later on.
Yeah, that would be very good.
Okay. Just let me know if there's any change to the sound while I'm doing stuff here.
Okay, I will.
Closing sound deck. Oh, I even downloaded the update, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I will update it.
Go
And
for
let's
it.
see what happens. Yeah. Just a second to read what it says. Okay. I think I'm going to, well, whatever I'm going to do, but yeah, I'm doing it
Okay.
in the meantime. And again, you let me know if I start making popping
Yeah.
sounds.
I will. You're still making pop sounds, by the way.
Okay.
Let's hope it's not for long.
Yeah, I'm almost done here. Okay. You can talk about something. Okay, I'm supposed to be here.
You are, but still a little bit popping.
I think I have to reconnect the mic. That's the thing now.
Okay, go for it. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a promo.
Okay.
It's a bit better now, by the way.
Really?
A bit better. It's still cracking, but not so much.
Okay. I think the driver needs to connect to the mic. It's not connecting to the mic now. I mean, the new update. Sorry, guys. I mean, annoying technical difficulties can happen.
In the meantime, I just want to because we're actually criticizing the movie a lot in this spoiler review up until now. I just want to basically just congratulate how the narrative was done. Like, you have so many entertaining things happening at every given moment. Like, you have a serious moment and a funny moment and a sad moment, and it's amazing. Hello?
Can you even hear me now?
Yes, I do hear you, but a little bit low.
Low.
Oh, it's good. It's good now. It's good now. It's good now.
It's good? It's clear?
Yep.
Okay.
It's clear as a whistle.
Yeah, awesome. And we have a lot more functions on the software, so you better update. Also.
On the sound deck?
Yeah, I have equalizer now and another. Anyways, I mean, you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to annoy people with that. So, yeah, hopefully now it's good, guys. We'll see how that holds up.
All right. So,
where were we again?
I want to hear your opinion on the pacing of the movie, because that's what I was talking about. The pacing, like, you have. I don't know what your opinion is, but I couldn't stop laughing, and I do laugh pretty loud, so you saw me, but it was amazing. So much funny moments right from the start, and they continue. They're non-stop funny moments throughout the whole movie. And I gotta say it again: Rocket, Yondu, and Groot just stole the show in this regard. They just stole the whole movie. With the cell scene when Groot had to get the new like fin for Yondu's arrow, like he actually cut off a finger.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, the most hilarious part was like Rocket just explains, "Please tell me that you have a freezer for cut off fingers," and Yondu was just like shaking his head, biting his lip. That speaks for everything. Like, he's like, nope, we don't have one.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I did feel that, you know, the previous movie was a bit more original with the humor, because I have heard this kind of a humor a lot of times. So it was pretty on spot, but it was also a humor that I'm used to. So I didn't quite burst into laughs that many times compared to the previous movie. But the pacing was good. I mean, I wasn't bored at all. I was invested all the time, kind of analyzing some things. The movie started very awesomely. I felt that maybe somewhere around the middle to the end, there was kind of a shift. Basically, it was not. I mean, the first part of the movie was a bit more quality, so to speak, to me.
Yeah.
I
But
had
then
less.
it slowed down a bit.
Yeah, but then not that it slowed down for me. It was just, I started to find all those things that I was failing to connect to, so to speak, to buy into, except the relationship between Nebula and, Gamora. That I really
that was amazing.
Understood. Yeah,
That
I
was
really
simply
did
amazing.
that.
And it just needed a few words when she like crashed her ship and just
You're breaking.
told,
You're breaking.
ah! All right, let me try something. Just tell me when.
Yeah. No.
Sorry?
No, I mean, there's no effect still.
Why? Why do you do this to me?
I really suggest an update.
I just checked for an update and I'm running the latest version.
Yeah, so let's read the comments in the meantime. Yeah.
Is it good now?
No. It's still not. Okay, actually.
Gonna connect again.
Okay, Sun Rising says, actually, the first movie, I remember the crew growing hate for Yanju from the start. Yeah, I mean, he was a villain, and I mean, pretty nasty villain as far as I can remember. Okay.
Here.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent. Okay, so I guess that's how we're gonna do it.
Okay, I'm just reading stuff. What did you do again? Theo, you are cracking. Let's agree to never speak about this again. About this only. Okay, never mind.
First rule of cracking sound, you don't speak about cracking sound.
Okay. Okay, so where are we again?
So we just touched on Gamora and Nebula.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so it was very interesting because, when Nebula said, I was losing, my even her brain actually. And
yeah, that was actually surprising that she has a mechanical brain.
Yeah, and then I was like, Gamora, I mean, she is good now, but how she was before then? Because that must, have some kind of an impression on her. It's not like it's everyday normal thing. Yeah, just take my hand, cut it off and replace it with a robot hand or something. And she did say that. I mean, she did clarify. I was waiting for her to say that, they were kids and she was just, put in this situation. She didn't realize what she's actually doing to her sister with her wins, so to speak.
Yeah, she was trying to survive from the Thanos. They were put in a better situation. It was win or lose, and Gamora was just better. For her, nothing else existed. It existed only this, the training, and she couldn't realize now that she has such like experience with other people, like Star-Lord and goodness and saving people. She knows what it is, and I want to touch on something that I mentioned yesterday in the non-spoiler collab with it. Nebula mentioned what she was going to do from now on. She was going to, I think I can quote, find a ship and install every conceivable weapon of destruction and go after Thanos.
Yeah, it sounds very nice, actually.
Yeah, and she did go. She did leave and went at the end of the movie, just went her separate ways. So when I told in your video last night that this is probably one of the premises in the third movie, that is probably going to be either in the third movie or Infinity War, probably we're going to have a massive turn-in from the Guardians of the Galaxy with the Avengers, which is something I hope, because Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy would be just awesome. And
she's going to be in the Infinity War. I've just heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't know how they're gonna do. Are they gonna just do Avengers on, or only Guardians of the Galaxy, or some kind of a collaboration? I just want to see both teams there. I just
Yeah.
wanted to fight Thanos, because when you have two teams fighting Thanos, it will just make him look even bigger, like even greater as a villain. And Thanos is the peak of Marvel villainy. He's the top. He's better than Apocalypse. He's amazing, and he
Yeah, he's
has
like dark
to.
side of the Marvel
Yeah,
universe.
basically just like Darkseid of the Marvel universe, and he needs to have things done properly. He needs to be presented properly. The movie with him as the main villain needs to be nothing short of epic, and I'm kind of worried about that. It's they're not gonna do it correctly.
Yeah, I'm worried too, because the only thing that we saw from him is just smiling and being condescending and menacing. I mean, that is what he represents when you see him on the screen, even without
Yeah,
speaking a lot. And that's you know in some cases enough to get that he is the big bad, but in the same time they have to work on him. They have to try to establish him more, his character and how he thinks and who he is, because otherwise it's just going to fall flat again. So
I think they're trying to go with the whole everyone knows who Thanos is, because you see what he does. You see him sitting on the throne. You saw him. I don't remember which after credit scene was it, when he took his glove, the Infinity Gauntlet, and all of
yeah.
that. You just see snippets of him. You just see little bits, and I don't know if we're gonna see more before the Infinity War movie, but I think what Marvel are trying to do is just go with the whole everyone knows who he is and what he does, and just dive straight into the thing itself.
Well, in my personal preference, so to speak, I would prefer for them to, explain, because a lot of people have never read the comics.
Yeah.
All those people that we go to see the movies, some of us read some comics, but not all comics, especially not something like Guardians of the Galaxy, because, as we know, it's not as popular as Thor, Iron Man, and all of those comic
Precisely.
books. So, specific fans that read and are very knowledgeable about the lore of Guardians of the Galaxy, they will know, and some others that read, of course, Avengers and so on. But people that are just regular moviegoers, they will be like, "What?" So the movie it
Yeah, they
has
won't
to
have any background.
establish also their characters, because a movie, it's a different property, it's a different universe, is the visual expression and manifestation of the characters from the comic book pages. So there is their duty, in my opinion, to do their best to show those characters to us, present them in the most you know and the best way for the time that they have for the movie. There's a lot of movie techniques, how you film something, the lines and everything that can tell a lot of story and character development in a very short time without being annoying or too much or anything like that. So maybe they need a better writers that can just spin it a little bit and try to show more in less time or something like that. I mean, we need something like this to make us feel the substance that we've been missing, because with Thanos there's no room for error. If he is not
Yes.
pulling it off, everybody's going to feel that. And
Yeah, he cannot be disappointing. He cannot,
yeah,
like they cannot afford that. This can cost them a lot, as in
yeah,
fan base, as in production value, in everything. Okay,
yeah.
so what do you think about the Stan Lee cameo? I do want to touch on that because it was one of the best.
Actually, that's my favorite cameo ever. It was
Yes.
amazing, and I don't know how can I just mistaken those guys, because I was so excited when we were watching the movie, and the first thing that just came to my mind was those guys from the Green Lantern Corps, and then I'm like, am I crazy? That's DC. That's
Yeah,
DC, Gary. What are you talking about?
yeah,
I never
you do
mistaken the
like.
two ever.
but they do look alike, of course, probably intentionally when they were creating the persona in the first place. But I'm just so happy they actually presented the Watchers physically so well. They're
Oh
very much. They didn't change anything in it. But basically, even the clothing was the same.
the same.
The faces were the same. I don't know what the hell Stanley was doing there in a spacesuit, but in any case, he was probably having a fun time. But the Watchers.
You're breaking. Yeah.
I'm breaking my habit.
You have to watch
Okay.
the chat, by the way, because I don't want to interrupt you. So at least, Sun Rising is telling you all the time when you're breaking as well. We don't want to
Okay, be right
interrupt
back. I
you.
will.
Okay. Okay, I bet my money that Tony Stark will do some stupid experiment and teleport the Avengers at the other side of the galaxy and say something like, oops, forgot the index here. Yeah, thank you, Sun Rising, for that. I mean, he likes to to do things recklessly. Yeah,
Me?
so there's that. Yeah, you're back.
Do I do things recklessly?
No, I mean, because Sun Rising was talking about Tony Stark, and
Yeah, I'm reading. Just as the galaxy says something like, "Oops, forgot it." That was actually in a comics, by the way. And I know Stan Lee is everywhere, by the way, but like the premise of him in a spacesuit is a bit like just makes you wonder what the hell, why. But anyway, the cameo was amazing. The cameo was very nice. I enjoyed it a lot, and but I want to see the Watchers in a active role.
Oh, it's going to be so interesting because I still remember that episode from Fantastic Four when they were like, we can intervene. We just don't do that.
Yeah, we can just watch, but just having them in a movie as those beings that watch over the universe will be very, very nice. Just even just as like a filler, just to show a bit more of them, because they're actually very interesting characters as both in background and in development.
Yeah, I just remember how they were, towards the Fantastic Four, they explained something about how we are like insects or cockroaches or something to them. We're not as important or something like that, or that was a line from Galactus. I don't remember
that was a line from Galactus when he was actually trying to convene with Mr. Fantastic. The Watcher explains that that humans are not that important, and he doesn't actually conceive them as intelligent.
Oh yeah.
Galactus has a rule where he actually doesn't consume planets with intelligent and prosperous life forms. It's like his rule, which, by the way, he actually breaks a lot.
And you're breaking again. Did you update the software?
Yes.
Oh. Just click on it, do something, poke it, poke it or something like that.
Okay, just a second.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's perfect. What did you do?
Unplugged and plugged.
Oh, okay, the same thing that I did previously.
And Sand Rising is actually mentioning that Stan Lee might be a Watcher. Well, no, but I do think he's going to be the one above all, which is the god of the Marvel Universe. He's basically the creator of the Marvel Universe.
If they show that, it was going to make a lot of sense, but because he's appearing in every movie. Oh, actually, it does make sense from that aspect also, because if he's appearing in every Marvel movie till now, it's going to only make sense that he is everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. Actually,
well, he is the creator of the Marvel Universe, so he might just be the one above all.
He's the main one. I mean,
yeah,
he's not the only one, but he's the main one.
That'd be good. I just remembered an episode from Spider-Man the animated series where Spider-Man travels to a different universe and he meets Stan Lee. It was an amazing episode. Okay, back to Guardians of the Galaxy. What else? What can we talk about?
Well, again, I watched explanation of the end of the movie, and they showed, several people that actually were the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the comic books. If you remember, there was a big guy with a yellow suit. There was a red guy with a cape, so to speak. He was the successor of Doctor Strange in the comic books. He's the one that continues his work, so to speak, instead of him.
Missed that.
There was a robot that was voiced by Miley Cyrus. For all people, I mean, yeah, that was funny. I mean, only one line. I mean, I think that a robot said. There was the Asian woman that is also.
You think the Ravagers when they were together?
Yeah, exactly. When we saw the funeral scene.
Yeah. So those were the original Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, something like that from the comic.
So Sylvester Stallone was a Guardian of the Galaxy.
No, he's something else. He's the guy that relives his life over and over again. Something like that.
I see.
We have a lot of research to do, if you ask me, if you want to get more into the characters. Although they always can change everything, how they did with Star-Lord and his dad.
Yeah.
And also some other video that I watched brought up a very interesting point that, when you have a dad and let's say that dad, somebody pokes his eyes out, you don't immediately have your own eyes, out as well. So that was also, what I was saying when the movie ended. Where is the logic? I mean, I know that he explained that when his spark dies, Star-Lord will also lose his powers. But interesting thing is that he's also not dying, and how Star-Lord, when he carries his spark, why he's not self-sustaining, because the spark did transfer to him, and he wasn't even on that planet. That was the core of the power, so to speak. And the core of the power of that God came from him, and he created the planet from him. So he basically left his own life energy and put it into an object, so to speak. It's very interesting. I mean, we can dissect that a lot till we reach some kind of a logic.
Yeah, well, I think that Star-Lord carried the gene, but he activated it when he went to Ego's planet. Like you know how the Ego told him to create energy, just to concentrate, transfer his mind to the center of the planet, and he created the energy for the first time. So he was carrying the gene, but it was dormant and needed to go to that planet in order to be awakened. So now he has the gene, he can draw the power. However, he's also half human. So as Ego said, he's not. If he destroys Ego, he will not be a god anymore. He will just be a human. So the human side of him. Whereas Ego is entirely this being planet. So basically, his life is entirely connected to the planet. So if he dies, he cannot be a simple human because he never had a human gene in him. Whereas Star-Lord, he's half human, so he may remain human, but he will not have the human genes because the battery, the
God genes, you mean?
Yeah, the light in the planet, as Ego said, will be dead.
Yeah, so, but when he carries both, Star-Lord carries both, human and godly genes. So when he was able to have and retain that spark, unlike the other children, when that is mixed with human, doesn't that maybe mean that he's something different than his father? So that would make him, in combination with human, that would make him independent from his dad.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like he that's why he can live outside of Ego's planet. Like Ego told Star-Lord that he has to return regularly to his planet, otherwise his avatar, the human avatar, will die. Okay, but Star-Lord is half human, so he before activating the gene, before activating this light gene, the celestial gene, he was just a human. He had a dormant DNA that was sleeping in him that told him what mixture is, as you remember in the end of the first movie when they said, your mother was human, but your dad is something very old. So, okay.
Yeah, I get that. My question was more like, wouldn't be, the godly part of Star-Lord also sustained because of his human side in some ways? That is what I meant. I mean, the combination between the two, wouldn't that make him something that will allow him to keep the godly, side of him too? And what you're saying that was activated when he was on the planet, that is totally possible, of course, and that may be the case, but I didn't feel that the movie established that very well. That didn't exactly explain that. He just said that he just has to concentrate and it's going to happen. But he didn't imply that he has to be on the planet in order to happen or to activate that. I mean,
yeah, but they also said, like Eagle said a couple of times, that he can use this power and he can live forever and he can construct whatever he wants as long as the light on this planet exists. So it's like the battery from Green Lantern, the main Green Lantern battery that basically is the origin of the green light power. If that dies, Green Lanterns all across the universe, no matter if they have their energy left in their rings, no matter what, will cease to have that power. It's the same thing, but with genealogy.
No, I get that, but I'm trying to, figure out their logic on that. I understand, how they explaining it, but I'm trying to get the logic behind that, because this is all made up, So I'm trying to get the logic behind the made up thing.
The logic with me is that Star-Lord carries the dormant gene, and he's able to connect to the power source, which is the planet, when his father teaches him like how to connect. Transfer your mind to the center and feel the energy and draw it out. Okay, so he has the energy because he has the gene that allows him to basically wield the energy. But when the source of the energy dies, that gene becomes basically inactive and he remains only human.
Yeah, useless. He can't, he no longer has something to, he has some kind of you can call the gene like a device, like the mobile phone, but you don't have the signal to connect to the source.
Or you have a computer without the internet. So
so to speak. Okay, I get that, but we have to explain that to ourselves, and the movie didn't quite did a good job to establish that exactly how this works for me.
I don't know. I kind of got it, like because I could easily make the connection to the Green Lanterns, but with biological genealogy, it's basically the same thing. If you don't have the source of power, even if you know how to access it, when there's nothing to access, you remain with what you are. And Ego cannot live because he's not human, but Star-Lord remains just human.
Yeah, but where you have the Green Lanterns, they have an outside source out of them, so to speak. They're not the source, as far as I know. But here, the God, so to speak, created himself, or we don't know actually how he was created, but he said that he started as some kind of an energy, a consciousness, and he grew into this brain, and from that he started to grow and build upon that and create the planet and everything. But if he created himself by his own, some kind of a creation, who knows what, because like I said, that was never explained, then why? A God should not have something like a, source, because it's coming from him. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense for a God.
I don't think he was a God. He was just very, very, very powerful being. That
thought that he was a god.
Yeah, well, he created a planet. Yeah, he has that much power. But imagine if Galactus came along and he ate him.
Oh yeah, that's not a true god. That's not a true god.
So much for your god.
Yeah, but they have to stop calling things gods. because they're well, where they're not gods really. Like they call Thor a god, but he's not a god. He's not even immortal. He just lives longer than us, like thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah,
But he's not a god. Damn it! I mean, stop throwing that word god to everything when there. That's not a god. That's just not.
I actually kind of like it because that brings the whole god concept to a pretty mortal level. Like, okay, he's a god. Yeah, he may be perceived as a god. Like what the ancient people, like from Earth, when they saw the sun going up and down, they say they thought a god did it. And what is a god actually? Someone or something that does things that your mind cannot conceive. Let's say if we have some magicians, let's say those tricksters that hide casts and everything, set themselves on fire, the YouTube magicians of today. Imagine if they go to, let's say, the Dark Ages. They would be perceived as either demons, witches, or gods.
Or demigods or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, or something like that. But they're nothing more than people who have learned to do stuff. And I think this is the whole concept. They are gods, but they're the god thing, as explained in Thor 2, they're not actually using magic, just very advanced technology.
Yeah, although he didn't quite understand that himself. But my problem is that they are gods to compared to us, because we're really mortal. We're like super mortal. I mean, we can die from anything, anytime. And they can't. They're just more durable. They live thousands and thousands of years. So of course that they are gods compared to us, but they do not fit the description of a god, which is self-sustaining, all-knowing, all-powerful, extreme intelligence beyond level of any kind of perceivings, and so on. I mean, I don't have to explain what the real god is.
Well, Ego had the god. Ego certainly had the god complex. He wanted to create his own universe.
Yeah, complex is not the same as a god, so...
Yeah. No, he wanted to be one. Like, he actually, if his plan did complete, he would basically be a god of a new universe. He would be the creator of a new universe.
Yeah, but low-level god, I mean, because we do know that there's a lot more powerful beings than him that can destroy him, even Galactus that... can just eat him, as you said. So that's a puny god.
Go anywhere. Yeah, for now, yes. But if his plans had succeeded, I think he would basically destroy the whole universe. He would take every planet. He would make it into his own energy, and he would be extremely powerful.
Yeah, from that angle, and he has to make more of him, like he did with Star-Lord, in order to have more power and more power, and he will just grow into a more powerful being that way. Yeah, although the universe is too big, so maybe he is going to conquer whatever he saw in his travels, which still is not the full universe, because it just can't be the full universe. And also the other question was, where were the Avengers when the Earth was about to be consumed by this giant blob?
I don't know, but
something that looks just like from Ghost
Goosebumps.
No. Ghostbusters, yeah. That was just like a huge jelly something.
They were taking a break.
They were sleeping somewhere under a shade or something. Okay, let's read some comments. If you like, you can read.
Yes, Sand Rising has been active. Ego is a planet. The human form was just an avatar. Yes. Think of Star as a light bulb. Without energy to light it up, you just have a bulb. Exactly. Well, how will you understand how mentally unstable are the characters if they don't yell something nuts from time to time? Well, yes.
That's not the only way to show it, though. I mean, you can be very subtle and still be the most evil and psychotic person on the face of the universe.
Yes, especially if you're just a silent guy who destroys everything. All right. If Dynamo goes to the Dark Ages, he'll be beheaded, dumped in the water, burned to the stake. But he will escape, by the way, because he's an escape artist.
Hopefully, if they're stupid enough to not tie him very good. Who knows?
Yeah. But imagine if Wolverine went there and they kill him and he rises up from the grave. He will be Jesus.
Uh, I don't know what he will be. I mean, he will be just perceived as immortal something because he will not do anything. You know, he's not a people person, so he will not be perceived literally as Jesus, just somebody that just rose from the dead, basically.
Yeah, but in the Middle Ages, Jesus was the only one who could do that. So because they had the Bible and everything, he was reborn again. It will be a complicated situation, but this is dwelling too much on what would happen.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, I think that we basically explained enough about what is
Everything.
God and what is a God in the comic book world, because in DC we have the same issue with Superman. God is this, and if God, I mean, what God? I mean, he's just Superman. Are you kidding me?
Well, he's God among men. He's the strongest man, but you
But
have
he cannot do anything godly. He can just fly, be invulnerable to most things. I mean, he cannot bring matter out of anything. I mean, are those, descriptions and, is that doesn't, I mean, that is like, it's not meaning anything. I mean, just say that everybody is a god that can fly and it's just, more durable. So
yeah, that's just the
ridiculous.
human concept of God, which is not accurate, because you had the new gods who are an entirely different race on New Genesis in DC. You have Darkseid, who is again, he is part of the new gods as well, but he turned evil, I think. So you do have a lot of gods. Let's just leave it there. You do have a lot of gods in both universes.
Yeah, a lot of gods, I'm just going to put this on there.
Yeah. So, final thoughts. Let's wrap this up, because I think we covered. There's just one more thing I want to mention, which is kind of disappointing to me, and this is Drax. He was literally the comic relief of the whole movie, which is nice. Like, you have a genuine comic relief for everything, but to have him as a very powerful, like with the background of a very powerful warrior, he didn't do that much.
Well, I don't know, I mean, compared to the previous movie, he kind of was more on focus than on the previous movie, I think.
Yeah, but for comic reasons, he wasn't there for his fighting style. Yeah, he did blow up a spaceship with a gun while hanging out of a spaceship, and etc. etc. But he wasn't that much of an action hero than a comic hero, like a comedic hero.
Yeah, that is true. I think that they showed a bit more of the way that he fights in the first movie, but here there was nothing of that sort, like nothing of that.
Even when he went in the beginning in the mouth of the creature, I thought he was going to be the one to kill it, but no, he was just poking him with his knives and doing nothing, which is I didn't like that. I didn't like the way Drax was presented in this movie, at least on the light where he was a superhero. He had amazing comedic moments. I did laugh at most of them, but they were a bit too much of them and not enough of him being a badass. And I think everyone needed to be presented as at least some form of a badass. Even Baby Groot at one point just snapped and killed a man.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, that was very funny. I'm like, okay, so Baby Groot will kill somebody? Okay, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Baby Groot just snapped and killed the one who poured alcohol on him. But Drax, he destroyed the spaceship and was flying around trees and enjoying it. That's it.
Yeah, but he's a funny character in general, but I get what you mean, because he doesn't get sarcasm and metaphors, and he takes everything literally, which makes him really funny. But yeah, from the warrior side, I even forgot what he can do the whole movie. I was like,
he's an incredible skill warrior in the comics. He's amazing. He's battle-born. He's he ravages in basically killing enemies. He's very strong, and just having him dumbed down to something like this, I do hope they fix him. I do hope they fix him in the next movie.
Yeah, well, if he is, then we did get absolutely none of that.
Yeah, exactly.
None of
this was the major issue I had with character development in this movie. Just him, nothing else. He was the one that standed out not being what he could be.
Yeah, but on another note, Dave Bautista did such an amazing job with all those scenes.
Yes.
He's just so great with his facial expressions. There's never like one face for everything. He always makes different reactions and faces, and he's so genuine. Like I really believe him when he said that Mantis was ugly. He's like, "You're so ugly," and I'm like, "What? Yeah, what is he talking about?"
Yes, actor-wise, performance-wise, he was amazing. Just the thing he performed were not thought of great. There was too much focus on the comedic part. That's at least for me.
Yeah, basically they use them for the tone of the whole movie. How everything was so unserious and serious, and then unserious and then serious.
Okay, I guess I'm breaking again.
Yes, you are.
Just a second.
Okay, we have to fix that, and we have to end it after this. I'm not hearing you. Yeah, there's no sound. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Excellent.
Fine. Okay, so basically, I think we covered what we could. What comes to mind. Obviously, we can't cover everything because it's not. It just we're going to forget something. I mean, as much as we try.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that we can actually talk about the whole movie bit by bit, but it's going to be a 5-hour discussion.
Yeah, I think we have to grade it because I did forget to do that yesterday. I mean, we both did.
Yeah, I graded it in my video, which will be up. I did a separate video because I woke up with a clear head and I just wanted to add some things. So I'm going to upload my review too. I graded it in the 5-star rating, 4 out of 5, just because of the small things that they were the fast pacing, the slowing down, the Dave Bautista thing. And etc. But 4 out of 5 because it is a must see. It is a must see for me,
especially on the big screen.
Yes, especially on IMAX or at least real 3D.
Yeah, I mean, we went on real 3D and it was absolutely sufficient.
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot. The effects were presented very nice, and I think the CGI the CGI was amazing.
Visually so impressive and with amazing colors, and I was even looking to see if there's a green screen effect somewhere, but no, it was very good.
And the close-ups of Groot when in the opening sequence, they were so extensive, so you kind of get that they went really far to get the details right, which is something I really appreciate, the good CGI.
Oh yeah, and especially at the end credit scene when he was a teenager, that is just so perfect.
Yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, that is exactly what will happen, and it's so awesome. He's like playing.
Excellent. It was good. It was amazing. So 4 out of 5 stars on me.
And I think I'm going to grade this 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yeah. 8 out of 10. And I did connect it more to the previous movie. I didn't find, you can say, flaws as much as I did here. I did connect with everything a lot more, with the jokes, even with the characters more. And usually, sometimes I prefer the second movies, not the first, because the second, everything is already established and it's like a flower, just blossoms from there. But here, I don't know, I just kind of prefer the first movie. It was, it kind of had a bit more substance, and the build-up was better, I felt.
Well, in my opinion, this was one of the better continuations of this was one of the better sequels out there. It is.
No, it's a very good sequel indeed. I'm just saying that I think I felt the previous movie better, but it's a great sequel. I'm not saying that it's not.
I don't know. I currently they're for me at the same level. I cannot prefer each one because the first one had its issues, especially with Ronan. This one has issues in other places, so they're kind of on the same level on me, but I would recommend watching both of them at any time. They're both amazing movies.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for sure. Everybody has to watch the first and the second one. That's a must. There's no doubt about that at
Yeah.
all. And when I first saw the first Avengers movie, then I saw the second Avengers movie. My first reaction was, "Oh yeah, this is kind of bigger, and there's more facts, and there's more things." But when things settled, I was like, I think I still like the first Avengers better for substance reasons and
With the Avengers, yes. With the Avengers, definitely the first movie was the top at the moment because it sets the tone in the best way possible. But that doesn't mean in any way that the other movies after that are bad. I actually cannot think of a truly bad Marvel movie at the moment. There are some who are
Well,
worse
if
than others.
if you're talking about from the Iron Man till now, because Iron Man kind of started the new wave of Marvel movies because before that we had the Hulk movies and they're so forgettable for me. There's no comparison, the level of everything there
Yeah,
and
I think
now.
the only Hulk movie that I actually enjoyed, there were two, I think. The Incredible Hulk was better. The first Hulk was totally forgettable. I didn't even enjoy it.
Yeah, it was kind of made the old way, of the 90s, how they did
Yeah,
superhero movies, the way the structure of the story, how they told the story, how they showed the hero, how
exactly.
much times they showed the hero that was not even that much. The CGI, of course, but that's for their times. I mean, it was very CGI. It
Yeah, it
didn't
was very,
really.
very in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very artificial and all of that. But just the whole feel of the movies now, every movie that we see, it seems that it has a conscious every movie. It has a lot of thought put into every movie in every way. They're thinking about so many things and they're combining them so well. Before, we just didn't have that mentality of movie making in terms of Marvel movies, and now they really took every characters and stories and just presented them like it's their baby or something.
Yeah,
So
they do have a more adult approach and a more serious approach towards
more conscious way
comic
of
book
making the
and
movies.
comic book movies are getting gradually more serious, more dark, more adult like, whereas before they were just at times right off the bat silly, like you couldn't feel the deep connection to the character as you do now, and especially Guardians of the Galaxy being partly a movie about family. I could feel all the relationships and all the hardships, and they were explained very well. So I do think that they are in the right way. They just need to polish themselves just a bit more to create ultimate movies, like movies that are probably going to be, let's say, classics in 50 or 60 years.
Yeah, I mean we'll see about that, but I think that they have to watch out for the cheesy factor because if there's too much cheese,
Yeah,
it's
there's,
starting to
there's
feel like a blue cheese at some
yeah,
point.
yeah, it is a bit too much in some occasions, but we'll see. They're gonna get it. I do have confidence that they're gonna get it, but I'm afraid that they're gonna fuck up at least once on that road, and I just hope it's not that big of a fuck up. I hope it's not one of the top movies that they're about to release in the next few years.
Oh, I'm very excited for Thor Ragnarok, so let's see how
Yes,
everything is there. I'm
yes.
very, very excited for
Let's wait and see. I have my fingers crossed for that movie because it looks amazing.
that. Yeah, and Hela looks just, Kate Blanchett just kicks ass
Oh yes.
just by being on screen. I mean, she's already a very good villain for me because it's very important how she presents herself, and even by the way that she is looking. I mean, her gaze and her mannerisms and
She is straight out of the comic book lore. She's the looks, the posture, the everything, the way she speaks, everything is straight out of Hela from the comic books, and it's amazing because she's amazingly represented there.
Oh yeah, I mean that is what we have to have in a villain. He has to or she has to make you feel immediately what they're capable of.
Yeah,
That is very important. That is about acting and, like I said, body language representation of the whole visual image of her or him or anyways. So it's very important as well. I mean, the actor himself, how he portrays that, how he represents that, in order for us to immediately know what they're capable of, even without any additional information. So this is just, those movie, you can say not tactics, but ways of doing stuff that are more advanced that will let us know what we can expect, and for us it's going to be just easier to understand the villains and
yeah.
how they're driven and all of that. So
Let,
that
let,
is what I want, something like
let's hope they
Hell.
make it. Let's hope they make it. I just hope they don't fuck it up. I don't want to be too hyped about it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is it, guys. We have to end it right here. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for Helzo for this amazing second review and spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And yeah, Helzo.
Thank you very much for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be on my channel with my review, and I'm gonna do something a bit additional to the Guardians of the Galaxy as well. And I thank Gary so much for inviting me.
My pleasure. And thank you for Sun Rising and whoever watched this this live hangout. Apologies for the for our technical difficulties, but we are going to look into that and see what the heck the problem is. Yeah.
It shall be dealt with swiftly.
Absolutely. So thank you guys. Until next time with Geri G Reviews and discuss things.
Cheers and stay fresh.
Bye bye, guys.